Welcome back to Laradog Minecraft. Hey guys, well, you ready to see something exciting? Well, yeah, we got the Titan up, and I haven't uploaded in like 5 days, and you wonder why. Well, it's because, well, look at that. First of all, the Titan is working beautifully. And you wonder why is there a chicken egg in there? Well, I will explain that as we go up. But if we just stand here, you'll see that it just starts adding up and adding up and adding up. All right, so I obviously poured another column right there, and I worked for, let's see, 3 days. When I had time, I actually built, tore down, built, tore down, and built and tore down the Titan. And why am I standing here? Well, I'm standing here because there's something that was right here that was interfering, that I could not believe it was interfering. Yes, it was those doors. Those doors were causing everything to merge upstairs. I think that's what it was, because after I removed those doors, we had a successful build, and it hasn't merged since. So a little loud up here, I apologize. There's the portal right above me, and if you watch here, you'll see there goes one, and then about 10 seconds later another one goes. Okay. So but it's about every 10 seconds one gets shot, something gets shot through the portal, okay? Now, that sound is very loud, and that is our golems dying. That is the iron golems dying. Yes, here comes all that beautiful iron just scooting its way right onto the center, and zip, 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 there it goes. Look at that. I mean, that's a lot of iron, people. This thing pumps out iron like you can't imagine, and this just keeps going and going and going and going and going. I'm actually going to get rid of this one piece here because, let's see, we'll capture that down in our bucket. So yeah, so if you just sit here, you just look at the iron, just keep the iron golems, they just keep on coming. Okay, let me head on up and show you the actual Iron Titan by Tango Tech. There's level 1 right there, and this is level 2, and this is basically the finished version. All the rows of doors here, and all the rows of doors over here, and all the platforms it took to make them, over and over and over and over and over again. And basically, I will tell you this, there was one other thing I did. I went to Chunk Finder, okay, the slime chunk finder, and if I'm yawning, it's because I'm very tired. But I went to the slime chunk finder, and I downloaded their mod called Village Info. Okay, now that also forces you to build the Iron Titan in a different version of Minecraft, but that's okay. It doesn't make a difference. And I was thinking, oh, it's not because, you know, I was able to actually see the villages form. What happens is Village Info, what it does is when you create a village, or when you get close to a village, it gives you an identification tag. It tells you what village number, what ID number that village is. So if you have one village and you know its ID, like the first one was like called, I forgot what it was. Actually, it was 100. And then when I made the second one and got close to it, it said, oh, this village ID is 11. Now it's like a 7-digit number, but the last two was 11. And I'm so sorry for yawning, but man, this has been a long, long project. But you can see all the iron. It's just dumping its way down. Beautiful. So I highly recommend using the Village Info mod because it does show you. So what happened is there was a critical point. You have to get all of your villages lined up directly on the center line before you add any of the doors either way. And I did that. And then when I went, because Tango says, if you have positive X numbers, then you go west to east, right? Well, I went on the west side and I put the first one down and it said, oh, okay, village 1 now has 2 doors. And then, I scooted over and I put another door down and it said that the village 100 had 3 doors, and it shouldn't have been that. That second one I think was like 116. And so no, that's not right. So I went and got closer to it and checked it really closely, and it did add it to the first door. And it kept doing it. And so I said, well, I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go on the east side. And when I started there, it added, okay, door number 2 to village number 100. And then it added door number 2 to the next one, then door number 2 to the third one. And so I was on the wrong side of the farm adding doors, and then halfway through putting doors on, I was watching it the whole time, halfway through putting doors on, it switched again. Or at least I think it did, and I had to switch sides. And so, and actually what was very interesting was at the point where I had all of the doors filled in here as well, because you have to fill in the doors in here. When I did that, it would have produced 17 consecutive golems. Now, at the where it's at now, it's at 11, but it really only actually spawns 4 at a time. There's only ever 4 showing at a time, but it's like legally able, or I don't know, legally that's the wrong word. It's capable of producing 11 golems. So it's really interesting ideas. But you can see I've been standing here quite a while. This sucker is working beautifully. I have literally chests everywhere, and because you got to realize I rebuilt this thing 3 full times. 3 full times. And let me give you one other little tour that I did. I am going to turn the sound down on this one because there's no way you guys can hear me if we have that on. So Tango Tech in his version has a kind of a complicated project here that it's not really all that bad, but I'm just going to sit here and check again. See? It goes down by 1 every 10 seconds. If you just stand here and count it, it goes down by 1 every 10 seconds. It's pretty faithful. And that whole thing is being accomplished by a very simple timer that Tango recommends building in the system, right? But like I said, instead of trying to filter out the poppies in the iron stream coming out, instead of trying to filter them out and put them back into this, I'm simply just having my and look at they're laying too many eggs. So everything's completely full. So I think I'm going to kill some of my chicken in there because I just got too many chickens. I'll have too many eggs. I have no idea how many chickens I'm really actually going to need in there. Probably only a couple. But I got to figure out a way to filter out too many eggs. So I think I just put a comparator on and do that. But that's what I did. I just completely did away with his fix. And like I said, so if you want to, the way you can start yours off is build your nether portal, which I did find out from the latest Titan build of on Hermitcraft. He built his storage system down underground, far away from where the Titan was, and that's where he had his nether portal. It's not up by the not up next to the Titan. So it just has to be within those spawn chunks. And spawn chunks go, you know, floor to ceiling. They go all the way from bedrock all the way to the top. That's your spawn chunks. So that's actually quite exciting. So what I did was I just built my nether portal. I put the dispenser on. I created this simple clock so that it would go every 10 seconds. The way you make it go every 10 seconds is you put 10 blocks in there. That's all you do. Just put 10 blocks in there. And then just went round with my horse and gathered up a whole bunch of eggs, and then built this little contraption, shot the eggs in there, got 2 or 3 chickens, and then had a couple filters with a or a couple hoppers with a chest. And then once I had enough eggs, I went up there and shot in a bunch more chickens. And anyway, that was a long time ago anyway, so that's why we got so much now when we're in overflow mode. But that's basically how you keep the nether portal active. You keep that thing active by shooting something into it every 10 seconds. And that's basically it then. After that, I mean, you got to follow Tango Tech's directions to build this thing, because they are very specific. Very specific. You have to follow them. And you can see I had all kinds of different things going here. I mean, I did. I tried it every which way. But this was cool. I kind of came along this. I saw somebody at one point run water underneath theirs without using hoppers, and then this water goes all the way down to the ground level, and that's where that stuff is. Oh, hold on, that's not where I want to go. I want to go right here. All right, let's go out here and kind of show you how I did have things going for a little while. Then all the villages merged. Oh, that's all my excess stuff. Well, here it is. See? Look at all this iron. Isn't that awesome? I got all of that before this whole contraption failed me. So the Iron Titan is up and running, folks. It is exciting. It is done. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you my 2 cents one more time. I highly, highly, highly recommend you using villager info and watching for the villages being created and being not forming correctly. So you got to realize you should understand what forms a village, what doesn't form a village, and then listen to Tango, listen to what he's saying in there, and then watch that information in there to see if your ID of your village changes when you add a new village. And you just got to learn, and you'll find out what you're doing wrong. I absolutely fully expected this thing not to work twice now. I've logged out. I've come back in. I've gone to sleep. I've done everything I've gone outside the area. I've done everything I could to try to break it, because if it was going to break, I wanted it to break now, and it did not break. So, oh, by the way, I left that door. That's the only door. I actually came over here and destroyed these 2 doors and these 2 doors. So if I put doors back in here, I'm going to use metal, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to end up moving my house next episode over there, and why not? We got iron galore. So that thing is ugly as sin, but I'm going to eventually take that thing down if this thing keeps working, remove these stripes, and eventually we'll build something pretty around that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to use my lava, and I may just make a huge round building, or maybe what we can do is make like 1, 2, 3, make like 4 silos, that go from build height all the way down, and then kind of like enclose them on the sides or something, just to make it look all big and bad. I don't know. But I am so happy to be back in my little home, and now my eyes are looking over there to get that done. So I'm back to making videos on a regular basis. I'm so excited. I do apologize for the amount of time it took, guys. Look at me, I don't even have my armor on. But I'll say thank you. I appreciate you guys. I love you a lot. And I will see you next time here with Larry Dog and Minecraft. Talk to you later.